there, thank you for tuning in to Stack Veterinary Hospital's YouTube channel. My name is Susie. I'm a licensed veterinary technician here at the hospital, and I'm also the rehab practitioner at the practice. So today I'm going to go over with you the main exercises that I send my clients home with at their initial rehab consult. So the purpose of this video is to be able to refer back for a good reference. So if there are any questions on performing the exercises, making sure that the owners are doing it correctly, things like that. So one of the biggest things I want you guys to take home though is, we want the rehab to be fun for you and your pet. Obviously, if you're noticing that you're getting stressed, the dog's getting stressed with certain exercises, I don't want you to do those exercises. There's plenty that you can pick and choose from that are going to have the same benefit. Also, if you're noticing any increased lameness with any of the exercises, I want you to stop and call us or your veterinarian and let us know what's going on, okay? So the first exercise I'd like to go over with you is challenge standing. So challenge standing, and this is Kyle, by the way. Challenge standing can easily be accomplished if you have a couch cushion that can come off the couch. You can use a dog bed. You can even get your pet on the couch or your bed. And basically what we want is for them to just stand on this surface. So standing on this surface, because it's not a solid surface, it's going to force them to kind of have to balance and stabilize themselves. So they're engaging everything. They're engaging their core, they're engaging their back, they're weight bearing differently. So it's causing them to work on building their muscles and, just things like that. Again, overall, full body workout. Stand up, ready? Good boy. Good boy. So again, just simple, just stand up. Another thing you can do on this surface is have your pet walk back and forth across it. Again, because it's not a solid surface, Cow is being forced to have to balance and stabilize himself to stay steady as he's walking. Again, full body workout. Another thing that you can do, come here, buddy. I call this an incline stand. So the purpose of this exercise, we want our pets to be at an inclined position. So in doing this, this is actually forcing them to put more weight on the back end. Again, strengthening back here. A lot of the dogs that we see have some orthopedic issues, a lot of knee issues. Some just need some hind end strengthening, overall conditioning to help strengthen, and even obesity. Some pets just need to lose some weight, and all these exercises are going to help with that. Another one of my favorite exercises is cookie stretches. So cookie stretches are really good for range of motion and weight bearing. So with your pet standing, you're going to take a treat in front of them and you're gently and slowly going to go back and forth side to side. Okay. And in doing so, we're forcing them to bend differently. And as they're bending, they're weight bearing differently on the limbs. This exercise is also really good for the core and then the paraspinal muscles that run along the vertebrae. The exercise that I usually send home with owners is a progression type exercise. So I say it first to bring the treat back to about the level of the shoulders. Stay there for a few days, and then we're going to gradually go back a little bit further to about the level of the ribs. Stay there for a few days, then go back to about the level of the hips. In doing the bending, as they're bending further and further, they're weight bearing differently each time they're going a little bit further on the body. They do not need to come in contact with the body. All we really want is just that bending position, okay? You may notice at first that your pet sits down. It's just because they're not used to the way that they have to move. They're not used to this exercise. So that's okay if it happens. We'll gradually get them used to it. They will get benefit from sitting and doing the exercise, but they're gonna get most benefit if they're standing and actually having to bend and then weight bear differently each time they bend. Next exercise is Cavalettis. So these right here are Cavalettis. You do not need anything extensive like this at home. You can make do if you have brooms, mops, yardsticks. If you have PVC piping, great, but you don't necessarily need it. So the goal of this exercise is to improve range of motion, improve weight bearing, and also help improve their proprioception or their awareness of limb placement. So our goal here, come on buddy, is to have your pet walk over each of these poles individually one by one. A lot of times we notice at first, they try to rush over them and they hop. That's cheating. We want them to get the most out of the exercise, and in doing so, they have to do one limb at a time. You may also notice and hear that cow is actually hitting these poles. Once they get a little bit stronger, once that range of motion improves, those limbs will come up higher and they will actually avoid hitting these poles, okay? Depending on the size of your pet, we may suggest, rather than elevating these, just keep the poles directly on the ground. It'll be easier for the pet. Obviously, a smaller breed dog isn't easily going to be able to step over the elevated ones, okay? Another exercise that I really like to send home with my owners is weaving. Very easy. You don't need cones like these. You can use water bottles, you can use bar stools, whatever you have, okay? And we want them to go through nice and slow. Everything with rehab is nice, slow, and controlled. So this exercise is really good for weight bearing, range of motion, of course. Again, the core, the back. So like all the other exercises that I've been showing you, they all benefit and are very similar as far as, you know, the purpose and the outcome of them. Come on, buddy. This one's also good for balance and propelling. Good boy. Yes. Can you sit? Good job. Good boy. Something else that works really well is if owners have access to hills. Nothing crazy, we don't want like a mountain or anything like that, but a nice incline, decline. If you have a ramp, you can use that. So for example, I'm gonna use this ramp setup here. So anytime these guys are forced to go up anything, it really focuses a lot on the back end. So increasing weight bearing on the back end. When they go down, it's more weight bearing on the front limbs. Both of which are really good for spinal flexion and extension. And in turn, it's also working the core. So again, full body workout. Good boy. Good job, buddy. So one of the easiest exercises, and one of my most favorite exercises that I like to send clients home with is a standing sway and a standing rock. So this exercise you can really do multiple times throughout the day with your pet standing. Come. You are going to want to come behind, and you're going to want to try and make sure that they're nice and square. And you're going to gently grab them right at the hips here. I'm applying a little pressure, but it's more so for stabilization. So I'm grabbing at the hips and I'm gently just going to go side to side, okay? I'm not swaying and like twisting the hips. I'm really just ever so slightly just going side to side. So in doing so, you can see these muscles here engaging. And again, just a nice, gentle, slow motion. The same position, you can also gently pull back and push forwards. Again, seeing these muscles engage back here. This exercise is great for forcing them to weight bear. So obviously weight bearing differently back here, we're strengthening back here, building muscle back here. Coming back, sometimes if the dogs are doing what we call front loading, so if they're bearing excess weight on their front limbs, having them pull back and holding for a second alleviates some of that excess weight bearing and tension up here, and it also helps kind of stretch the spine out a little bit. So those are some of the main exercises that I do like to send my clients home with. As I said earlier in the video, if there's any concern, if you're noticing any increased lameness, I do want you to stop the exercises and call us to let us know. If we have to alter exercises, if we have to alter our rehab protocols, we will do that in order to keep your pet safe. If you have any questions, please give the clinic a call. We're always here. And otherwise, have fun, enjoy, and thanks for tuning in.